Good morning.
Good morning. All right. So today we are talking about our market update for the month. January 2023 is officially over. And so now let's take a look at a little bit of stats to see what happened.
January just flew by,
I know.
gone. So we're seeing roughly 39% fewer listings. This is the lowest number that we've had in almost 10 years. That number is roughly 800 fewer listings in January. What does that mean? Why are there fewer listings? And what does this do to the market?
Yeah, here's a little graph from the Sacramento appraiser blog showing the difference in listings that we had in January and past years versus now. I think part of the reason is, we've had this conversation that buyers are sitting tight, waiting for affordability to kind of come back. But sellers are also sitting tight because a lot of them are sitting with those 3 to 4% interest rates on the homes that they bought, and if they were to sell that home and let's say upsize or buy something different, they'd be looking at something around 6% now. So I think just as much as buyers are kind of waiting interest rates out because that's having a big effect on affordability, I think sellers are doing the same thing, and it's made it harder for them to afford, potentially that replacement home. I've run into the same
Right. So
thing personally.
Right. So even if they didn't purchase, they were able to refinance, which you hear realtors talk a lot about, like, hey, don't
Mhm.
worry about your rate now, you can refinance. So a lot of the sellers who maybe didn't purchase a new home, but they had the opportunity to refinance. And so they were able to get into those lower rates. And now it makes it really hard for them to sell their house, even if they bought it years past, and it might be a better sales price for them
Yeah.
to trade that for a higher interest rate. So they're kind of stuck. The sellers feel stuck, and then the buyers feel stuck because the affordability
Mhm.
of prices, which have increased over time, plus the interest rates. So we're seeing fewer listings and then also fewer sales volume.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a little anecdote. For us, for example, when we bought our house at the end of 2020, we got a 2.875 interest rate. We bought a 3.1. We really wanted a 3.2, but this is kind of what we found at the time, and we liked the house. But we just had the holidays. My parents were here, staying here for a month. Family was in and out, kind of like staying a few days at a time. So we really realized how much we need that second bathroom. So, like I've kind of been looking around to see what's out there, and it's really hard for me to give up this mortgage and this interest rate that I have to go find something for just one additional bathroom. It just doesn't really make sense quite yet for us. I can see exactly how people who maybe bought in the last 3 to 5 years are feeling because that's us. We're in the same boat and looking to sell or upsize or find that replacement home.
Well, and I'm going to go back to what I say. I think I'm going to die on this hill. I really do. Lifestyle, right?
Lifestyle,
If
for
nobody
sure.
says packing up and selling is fun. So if it's not making you severely uncomfortable, so that could be if you're renting and your landlord is raising your rent or not doing the maintenance, or, somehow you're very uncomfortable selling your house. Let's just say, all of a sudden you have two kids. That one bathroom would make your life very
Yeah,
uncomfortable, right?
yeah.
So then you're going to say, you know what? I'm so uncomfortable. I will take a different uncomfortable, which would be a higher interest rate to ease the pain or the discomfort I'm going through now. So
Yeah.
it's like, at what point do you have to hit a threshold to make it make sense? And if it
Mhm.
doesn't make sense, people aren't moving for fun right now. So it has to be a lifestyle change in which you're looking for to overall bring a better living situation for you in order to make this move.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. There is new inventory, technically, even though listings are down. So, as we look into what's happening in the market now, a lot of the newer inventory that's coming up is moving pretty quickly. I mean, I'm seeing that with my clients. I went and looked at houses this
Mhm,
weekend and already had 3 offers, but it was priced very well. A lot of
mhm.
these newer listings, the sellers are realizing where they need to price at. And we talked about it. Price is the most important thing to have the house move. And a lot of these older, staler listings, those sellers just haven't come to the realization that they probably need to drop their price significantly or really put out there that they're offering credits to bring those buyers in. What do you think?
Absolutely. No matter what, it comes down to price. If those homes are wanting to move, they need to price them correctly. Otherwise, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, so hopefully as we move into these spring months, that trend line continues and we see a few more listings come up, a little bit more activity. You and I both have buyers who are sitting waiting till the right house comes up, and we obviously want to help them find it.
Buyers have a different mindset than they did the last 2 years.
Hmm.
They're not willing to sacrifice. So I have a set of clients right now that I'm working with, and they're just like, we're okay where we're at. And unless if it's darn near perfect, which I don't want to say that, but it has to have these things or we're going to wait.
Yeah,
So it has to be priced right. It has to have a specific number of bedrooms. It has to have a specific number of bathrooms. It has to have a garage or whatever it is they're looking for.
mhm,
Before, buyers were willing to bend over backwards to get into a house, and they're not willing to do that anymore. And
mhm.
so it was a big, quick change. Now the sellers, you have to take that into consideration.
Yeah. And I think it's because of the stark difference in affordability. Affordability
Absolutely.
then was, I bent over backwards to get this house, but my my mortgage was $200 more than what I was paying in rent. I was getting an extra bedroom, losing a half bath, but the house is mine. We can do, we were able
Mhm.
to do remodels and stuff like that. Versus now, affordability is a little tighter for everybody. So they're making sure those things that are on their list are there because
Mhm.
they're not going to have the extra cash potentially to make those investments and do the remodels and fix things up like they did before.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so there's our market update. Please stay tuned and you can see all of the numbers for Sacramento region and surrounding counties.
Like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week.